talk about the nurses, baby. Nurses are standing up and they are fighting back. I know I just had a recent conversation, a recent live with the representatives for the nurses of the University of Wisconsin Hospital, and they averted a strike. 24 hours before they were supposed to strike, they reached an agreement. That is a beautiful, beautiful thing. Shout out to those nurses, shout out to their supporters, and shout out to SEIU, baby. And the fact that they were able to win that is indeed a beautiful, beautiful thing. And so now moving on to Minnesota, where our sisters and brothers and family and friends there, 15,000 nurses on strike. It is said to be the largest, according to an article written in Common Dreams, the largest private sector nurses union strike in U.S. history. The House of Labor is rumbling, baby. They are rumbling. And they are rumbling because the system is absolutely rigged against workers in this country, whether they work, damn it, at McDonald's or whether they are nurses. And so we need the House of Labor to come together to fight for better benefits, better wages, and better work conditions. But when nurses are striking, we know something is absolutely, deeply flawed with the system. Nurses all over this country, they are on the move, and it is indeed a beautiful thing. The battle cry in Minnesota is patience over profits. And why would that be the battle cry? I'm glad that you asked. It is because we commodify healthcare in these United States of America. We are the only industrialized nation that does that. Do you hear me? The only one that commodifies healthcare to the detriment of the people of this nation. Makes no sense. The cost for healthcare, astronomical. Individuals can't keep up. Companies can't keep up. It is not only unseemly, it is not economically feasible, the track that we are on, and it is absolutely immoral. So I am glad that the nurses are standing up yet again, because the nurses are the ones that started pushing for and championing the whole notion of universal health care in these United States of America, and I'm so glad that they did. So the nurses in Minnesota are striking, 15,000 strong, baby. According to an article in Common Dreams, overwhelmingly they voted within that union to strike. And what are they striking for? Better benefits, better wages, and better work conditions. Hello, somebody? And people are rallying to be in support of the nurses. And why not? Gotta do it. Attorney General Keith Ellison in Minnesota said, nurses are vital to our healthcare system. They deserve a voice on the job, safety, and fair compensation. Amen to that, A.G. Ellison. They deserve that and a whole lot more. Let's talk about what the nurses are striking for. Again, better benefits, wages, and work conditions, but they want staff fixes. There is a ratio problem within the healthcare system when it comes to patients and nurses, and it makes the situation unsafe, both for patients and for nurses. They want more paid sick and parental leave. Not too much to ask for people who are on the front lines and are by the side of their patients at some of the most critical and sometimes worst times of their lives. Why wouldn't you ensure that nurses and other healthcare personnel have the sick time and the parental leave that they need, because their quality of life matters so that they can do their jobs? Not too much to ask. But the administrators, they bucking against this. They fighting against this. These CEOs who make millions of dollars pushing against it. No surprise. So I'm so glad that the nurses are taking a stand. And we're right with them. We have an absolute crisis within the healthcare system in the United States of America, and everybody knows it. We, the collective we, need to continue to raise our voices and to be out there on the streets and to support these nurses as they fight to put patients over profits. It is the nurses of Minnesota today. It could be nurses anywhere in this country at another time. And we need nurses. They have healing hands. They are our angels right here on earth. To go into the medical profession in that way and to be a nurse says a whole lot about the folks who do that work. And we need to have their back as they have ours. So support the Minnesota nurses. I want to give the closing words to Secretary of Labor Robert Reich, who tweeted, "Today, 15,000 nurses walked off the job to protest understaffing, the largest strike of private sector nurses in U.S. history." As I said before, solidarity with MN nurses. It is past time we address the inadequacies of our penny-pitching healthcare system that values profits over patients. Go ahead, Secretary Reich, make it plain. It is time that we deal with this, because they only pinching pennies when it comes to the nurses. They are only pinching pennies when it comes to serving people like us and all of us. What it means to be human means we are going to need a nurse or a doctor or other healthcare personnel at some stage in our lives. So we must show solidarity with the nurses of the great state of Minnesota and nurses all over this country. Let's continue to push for Medicare for all.